Tonight we'll be doing a pre-screening for the documentary Project Echo, A Democracy of Knowledge.
Project Echo has been a phenomenally good partner. I guess that's no surprise. They're incredibly organized. This is kind of what they do, bring people together and communicate really, really well.
Dr. Aurora, how did it feel to see yourself over the course of 10 years and see your life's work in a documentary?
As I was seeing the documentary, I was reflecting on all the things I've sort of learned over these years as the documentary was capturing some of the film that was shot when Echo actually was born. And it sort of reinforced this idea that disparities in the world are so staggering that a very simple example that, for example, for tuberculosis, in India, the drugs are completely free. The testing is free. Everything is free. It's provided by the government. And yet, 1,100 people die every single day. And they're dying because the knowledge doesn't exist where they are living. And the same for, in the world, 650,000 children are dying from diarrheal diseases every year. And what do they need? What is the knowledge that's missing is we need to know how to give them hydration and correctly add sugar to the salt water. And this lack of knowledge problem is really, it's a fatal issue. And of course, as was mentioned in the documentary, knowledge is one area where we can share without getting poorer ourselves. In fact, we become richer. So I think that part was getting reinforced in the film, and I certainly enjoyed seeing it.
Can you talk a little bit about what drew you to making a documentary about Echo and how you ended up working together on this?
So I knew how it worked. I knew I wanted to make a film about it. And so in 2005, I made a film for KNME called the Hep C Blues. And so part of that initial film is actually in the first act of our film. I knew I wanted to make more, do more about how Echo has expanded. So I think I was finally able to convince Sanjeev that maybe that was a reasonable idea. Anyway, we got some money and we made the film.
Been making films for a long time, something like since 1963, basically. But it was really nice to once again, the second time, be able to go to India and do a documentary there. That's just an experience that I would do again if I could. It's an amazing place to make films and to experience the society there and these kinds of solutions.
I could not do what I do without Echo. They've enabled me to bring hepatitis C care to the homeless population, which is, of course, a very disenfranchised group of people who have a fear of health care to start with, but to get them in to see a specialist is an even greater challenge. So being able to give them specialty care within my clinic was a really big deal for us.
One of the things that has come through, just traveling the world and seeing what's going on and how Echo is making a difference, etc., is that this story shouldn't be about healthcare. If we just let this much disparity exist in the world as disparity existing, with all these children dying before their 5th birthday from very, very treatable diseases where medicines cost nothing, then we are not going to have a very stable world. So that's the one thing. So I do see, I hope, that in the next film that is made, we'll be able to show that billions of people are benefiting, and there are tens of thousands of these networks operating. Right now we only have 750. And we will have gone beyond health. And as I've mentioned, one of the biggest challenges for the world today is if you're a small kid in a village in Africa or in India, and you don't have a teacher who knows best practice how to educate you, in this knowledge economy, you don't have a chance, basically. So it is an imperative for us to get that teacher who lives in that village in Sudan, trained enough to provide a good education. And I think so I would like to see the spread of ECHO from health. First it was healthcare, then health, now education. And there are several other massive problems that we have to deal with. One is the environment, the pollution, the air supply, the water, enough fresh water. And there are best practices in so many, sanitation. There are best practices in all of these. And one of the learnings that has come out of ECHO, Mark, is that ECHO was originally developed as a way to transmit expert knowledge to primary care, but now it has evolved into solving other more complex problems where the experts actually don't have all the answers, where multiple stakeholders each have a small part of the puzzle. And how do you bring them together to work together on creating new solutions to problems? And we are doing that. We are just starting a project, just got funded in Delhi to reduce air pollution. We have large projects in Africa, in 30 countries for improving laboratory quality. We have projects in global health security to reduce different kinds of biological bugs from emerging. So there's these kinds of issues. And the fact that we can do this without getting poorer ourselves, my dream is that this will be picked up and become the standard way to democratize knowledge of experts for human good. Because there is tremendous risk to all of us if we just monopolize all our knowledge, keep it to ourselves, and because knowledge is power or money or fame or whatever else we want with it, democratizing it, I hope ECHO will contribute to making the world a better place.